And I'm no longer on mute. Hi, and welcome to Call Aboard. That's right, Call Aboard, a call-in board game podcast on the Tabletop Express. Um, we went for something train-like, went for something call-like, we went for something board game-like. We like cheesiness here. We like fun. Um, and today this is the very first full episode of this kind of thing. So, Call Aboard is a project that we've been kind of kicking around of a call-in show where we want to hear from you, the community. Thank you, Rachel. Rachel chimed in saying a perfect name. I can't take credit for the name. That's my other half on the channel. That's Chris Barros, the originator of Tabletop Express, the OG of Tabletop Express. Um, and he's graciously given me the keys for tonight. So we're gonna see where this goes. But today we're gonna be talking all about board games. We'll be talking about what game this month, in this previous month, what was new to you that is standing out. What are you excited to play? What is just crossing your mind? And tonight's topic for now is favorite board game adaptations. Okay. Favorite board game adaptations. That could be anything. You could do intellectual properties, different movies, TV shows, books. Um, I'm talking about heavily thematic, but tied to a particular alternate medium. So the idea is that the adaptation is translation from one medium into another. So this is done a lot nowadays, right? Books turn into movies, comic books are turning into movies and now TV shows. This is that sort of thing. What are some of your favorite TV shows that are moving into board games? What are some of your favorite movies that are moving into board games, video games moving into board games? Anything where it's one medium moving to another, that's a topic for discussion. And, if you feel like I'm wrong, tell me why, and let's talk about whatever may cross your mind for favorite board game adaptation. Now, I did mention my other half of this show. He would be joining, and I have him. He just joined. He's a little late, about 2 minutes late. That's all right. It's fine. Whatever. Um, who's counting? Anyways, I got the wonderful originator, OG conductor, Chris Bartholomew Egbert Barros on the line. Hi.
That is definitely not my name.
It's not?
No.
Oh
No.
man, I gotta re-download your resume then.
No, there's no Egbert. That's for sure.
No Egbert?
No Egbert. No, hey, it is
Hey.
official. I want to say congratulations actually because we tested this out with an episode of On the Table, and it's really cool that we're actually doing it now. Because I know this was something you'd wanted to do when we initially
Yeah.
started talking about the channel as a whole, and you were coming on. So it's
I'm
cool
not
to
gonna
see it.
lie. Inspiration does come from my favorite podcast, The Best Show, which was formerly The Best Show in WFMU. Now it's just The Best Show. Which is going on right now. It's a live call-in show. But thankfully, you're here to call in on this one, while that
Yes.
one is literally going on right now. So
Yeah, well, I do have to say because when you came up with this topic, the one thing that was on my mind was there's just a bunch of games that fall under it.
we're going right in.
Yeah, and I won't use them all. I actually am going to go a different direction than what I think I said initially, and I'll wait.
Well, the good news is I have BGG ready.
Yes,
We have Board Game Geek ready. I will type in the game. Talk about it.
so if you want to talk about a perfect adaptation, in my opinion, though it's a slew of a setup. That is actually Kingdom Rush Rift in Time, which went from mobile game over to board game. The largest issue with this game, quite frankly, I don't know if it's perfect adaptation, but
tell us about
good.
Kingdom Rush, because I never played Kingdom Rush.
Right.
Ever.
But Kingdom Rush, in terms of adapting a game from a mobile game to a board game. It was really well suited for this. It's tower defense, really more than anything, right?
Is that what the video game is like? Because I've never played it on the phone.
Yeah, it's essentially tower defense because you're trying to stop these people from getting all the way through into the end game, which is like so they're coming in different pathways, and then you don't want them to escape. Certain number of escapes, you're screwed. I'm sitting here. I've got one of the boxes, which I got the expansion. This is and what's the thing about this is these games has these fun little miniatures. You could paint them certainly if you wanted, if you're that type of person. But what was cool about it is like these are iconic characters in the mobile game. Like this is JT. I think this is JT.
Okay.
It's a snowman.
JT, formerly of NSYNC, now member of Kingdom Rush, right? That's where he went.
This is a pretty.
Sorry, that's JC. That's JC Chavez.
JC. But sorry, no, JC. It's a fun game. Again, it takes a bit to set up. I feel like that's the biggest reason it doesn't hit the table as much. But in terms of going from a mobile game to a board game, very well done. The other one I would mention is Fallout Shelter. Because I think Fallout Shelter was just designed almost to be a board game.
Wait, hang on. Before you jump into Fallout Shelter, talk to me a little bit more. What is it specifically that they translated well? Give me a prime example. Like, what is unique to the video game that they fully captured into tabletop form?
They fully capture the fact that you're taking the opportunity to upgrade your towers really well. So you could choose to take actions to put more towers down, or you can hold on the cards into the next round, hand off the card to the next player, and then that player can utilize those to essentially allow them to be upgraded. So
is this co-op?
It is co-op. Yeah. Okay. So you're playing together in this one. They've got their special abilities. All the different characters have those kind of asymmetric powers. You get more along the way. It has the feel of the pieces moving down and getting closer to the exit, which you definitely don't want to happen, because once that happens, oh no, like, you're starting to get in trouble and you might lose. I think it just captures the feel perfectly in that way. But the upgrading mechanic of, if I don't use this and place it down, it's going to pass on to someone at a higher level, and you can kind of think ahead with the more advanced towers that could potentially come. It's a table hog, if you can't tell, though. It's
how's the setup?
A table hog. Just not a bad thing, Gloomy.
Is it a lot to set up this one?
I think it's, once you've done it a few times, it's not that bad to set up, but it's going to take you some time because every scenario is different.
Because that's that's the one thing about like video game to board game is, does it achieve that goal of you boot up the system and you're ready to play? You know what I mean? Because that's how video games are. That's how BGA is.
This definitely does not just immediately set itself up. So,
okay.
But there's a scenario booklet. I don't have it directly in front of me, but I would just encourage people, if you look on BGG, I'm sure in the files section, you could see kind of some of the scenarios. And they really expanded it out, added more characters. They did a expansion even to it standalone, which I didn't back because
this one, right?
Yeah. I have enough with the first game. I don't know that I'll ever even get through all of it. So
gotcha.
But yeah, I dig this game. So I just, my son and I enjoy it quite a bit, and it'll hit the table every once in a while, and it'll get played completely, is what I will say.
Nice. So their first game was Kingdom Rush. Now, you talked about the one I have on my unplayed shelf.
Yes.
Tell me all about Fallout Shelter, the board game, which I never played.
Have you? Well, if anyone's played the app, again, I went with an app theme here. You're building up your kind of your base, and accruing more and more different types of rooms in your base in Fallout Shelter. And then from time to time, you have attacks. Your base gets attacked. With Fallout Shelter, what's neat is everyone controls a floor in the Fallout Shelter. But what's cool about this is everyone controls the floor, but once you've actually added a spot to the floor, it is a worker placement spot that anyone can use. So you are trying to complete your floor, but in the process, you're putting more and more spots that people can use. So from an adaptation perspective, obviously, that's a little bit different. But the idea of all these different floors, new things being available in them, you've got these clear pieces that go over to indicate something else is there. you have bad things happen, like a fire might occur in the cafeteria. So all these things do occur, just like they would in the game. So yeah, and Ryan, I see, is commenting on the use of the clear cards in the game. So that's really, to me, one of the big things is it's just a perfect use of those clear cards. You've seen them in some other games. Was it Gloom and a few other ones? But this one, I don't know. It's just really well done to illustrate changes on the cards. And every game's different because in terms of what's coming out and how each floor is going to look, that's all dependent on the players and what they choose to build with their resources. And if you know Fallout, this feels like, if you know Fallout Shelter, it feels like Fallout Shelter.
Yeah. So, I mean, I never played Fallout Shelter. I played Fallout 3.
I think I've mentioned this, though, on the channel before. I actually think this is not a bad game to introduce worker placement with. I think it's pretty simple.
Yeah,
I don't really think it's that complicated in terms of teaching people some basic worker placement. So,
and it really feels like essentially the app in board game form.
It feels like the app. It's a very good adaptation in that way. So I'm a fan of it. I think it's a great game. This won't leave my collection, quite frankly.
No,
this could be under my top 100. It stays in the collection just because it's.
I was wondering, did you give this one to me, or did Squirrel? You're in the chat. Did you give this to me?
I think he did.
I probably did, right?
I would have not given you my box. So
no, I think it was one of those things. Yeah, it might have been one of those things where I got to try it.
Right.
This might still be his copy.
I do. I want to say hi. I see Rachel. I saw Rachel in the chat there, so I want to also say hi to Rachel.
Yeah, she gave you props for perfect name.
Yeah, I can take credit because I joked about this name. I didn't know that we'd run with it, but we did.
I mean, I cringed really hard on this name, Call Aboard, but it works. Yes, Squirrel. Thank you. Yeah, he said he did.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I did cringe really hard. So what is? We still have some more discussion points before I'm kicking you out.
Sure.
So talk to me about what game was, I guess, new to you this past month that you really enjoyed. Was there anything that popping up in your head or you didn't enjoy? Tell me about.
New to me this month. Well, there's one I played with you, which I want to save for a future chat. I'm not going to mention. It involves cubes. I know
what you're talking about. Yeah.
That game needs its own conversation.
I mean, we could always talk more about it, but go ahead.
We could, but the one that was new to me was recommended actually by Danielle, who's on the back end more often than the front end here on the Tabletop Express. But Danielle had mentioned Long Shot, which is a great little dice game. Dice / roll and write, here. So there you are, roll and write dice.
Yeah.
Just dice. You've got the roll and write factor on this one.
Don't look at my rating. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I don't. Well, Long Shot, the dice game. Now, Long Shot, I clarified the dice part though, because there is a board game version of this I have never played, I guess. I like the implementation of this. I like it better at higher counts. I've now played this because I've now played this at 2, 3, and I think 4, and I like it at the higher counts. At 2, it leaves something to be desired for me personally, but at 3 and 4, I've enjoyed it significantly. So it is a game where you are going to be rolling dice, which will dictate what horses are moving around this racetrack. Yeah. And as you're doing it, you can cross off different things on your board. Some are pretty cool. Like some give you the ability, you could choose to cross an X off on one of the cards, and they're randomized. There's 3 or 4 different sets of these because every time one horse moves, other horses are also going to move.
Right.
You can make it so the horse you want is going to move. The winner of this game, though, which I think is critical, wins if they have the most money. Yeah. And having the most money can come from a lot of ways. Betting, you could simply check off when you get enough horizontal and vertical rolls plus $7 and get $21 from right there and not spend it on anything.
Yeah.
I would bet it personally. But I think it's just a fun little game. It's easy to get to the table. I feel like with board game, avid board gamers. And I feel like you could get it with just your friends and family who don't normally play board games. And I think that's a real win in terms of a board game for me. And so for me, I really enjoyed this one. Again, I like it at a higher count.
Yeah.
It's not a dueling game. If I want a dueling game, we'll play Radlands.
Right.
But, when it comes down to just a fun little game to get to the table. Really enjoyed this one.
Yeah, I want to try
I don't
a
think
higher
it's an
player count.
8.0. I will say this. I don't think it's an 8.0, which I think
Yeah.
is its average on BGG. I think that'll drop a little bit.
Right.
It's BGG. It'll happen. But I enjoyed it quite a bit. It's definitely not my favorite roll and write, but in terms of approachability, I think this would get really high marks. I think it's a very approachable game, very easy to play and teach.
Yeah. Yeah, I do want to try some higher player counts. I have different. I mean, I like big party. Well, I mean, when I think big party gambling, I think wits and wagers. So I compare it to that in terms of like the aesthetic. Obviously, the gameplay is completely different from wits and wagers, but the end goal is the same thing, and the idea is you're gambling your money, and you're just trying to win the most money, right? Yeah, and I don't know. I want to try as a high player count because right now I'm hard pressed thinking how this would be with higher player counts. I don't know. I mean, I played with it too, and I wasn't a fan. I wasn't a fan of 2.
Yeah.
It could be better with more players for sure. But yeah, I mean, you saw my rating. It's 5 in the moment, 5.8.
Yep. I think again, it's not going to be for everyone. It's a simple game. I will say this, I question if the powers of when you buy a horse, because you can buy the horse in this game and then you get the money if they win. I question if they're really worthwhile in the end, and I need more plays to figure that out. So I think that's the difference for me. But I like the game all the same. It's somewhere in the 7s for me, quite frankly, but I don't envision it leaving that. But it's a good game. I like it quite a bit. It does have a solo mode, which I have not tried.
I don't know if I'd want to.
Danielle has done it, and I will bring her on to talk about that at some point, so we can share more about that.
So I feel like the excitement would be like, I got it,
right.
If I do that, I'm just doing it to a mirror, and that's not as exciting. Or a puppet, I guess. I have like, different puppets I could bring out. All right. Well, this was cool. Good talking. I am gonna go on to our next guest, I think. So, sir, I will bid you adieu for now. Sound good? Sound good. Cool.
Sounds good.
All Goodbye. Right. Toodles. Where is it? Oh, I hit it. There it is. That guy, man. He just wouldn't leave. No, I'm kidding. Okay. So I'm going to change it up. And I'm taking my headset off. Let me know if you can still hear me, because our next guest is actually in the studio. He's in my house. There is a caller, and he is in my house. This is like Black Christmas board game edition. Which will be actually, I think there is a board game of Black Christmas that was on Kickstarter. Anyways, I have in my house right now the one and only Squirrel, Ryan Clements. Hey, there he is. Hey.
Hello.
Hi. Get the door behind you.
Oh, yeah.
I don't need my little guy here. My 3-year-old. Have a seat. Have a seat.
I feel like Mr.
Welcome.
McFeely dropping off mail to Mr. Rogers.
Yeah. Oh, is it? This is a little more Pee-wee's Playhouse with Krusty the Clown mixed in.
That would be an interesting timeline, let's say.
That's how it is. So, hey, how's it going?
It's going good. How are you?
It's going good.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. So, go ahead. Introduce yourselves to the fine folk that are watching.
I'm Ryan Clements. You can call me Squirrel. And, been friends with Espen for quite some time. We've been playing a lot of board games.
Yeah. So. He was my COVID Corona play remotely buddy.
Yes.
Today's topic, as you know, is board game adaptations. Do you have a board game adaptation you would like to talk about today?
A board game adaptation?
An adaptation. So what I'm doing is specifically, I'm trying to aim for like a property in a different type of media, like a video game or a movie that gets translated into board game form, or you could change it up.
Well, I did bring a few to show you.
I knew you would.
I'm not gonna lie. I actually did, unfortunately, not realize that there was a theme to today's episode, and so that's honestly my fault.
Oh, hang on 1 second. I see some comments. You're right. We should do this. It needs a little more pizzazz. So this is we are call aboard with Squirrel. How's that? Is that good?
Is that good?
To be fair, I did call earlier to find out if it's okay for me to stop by.
You did. You did. I only do this for the finest of strangers in my house.
Yes.
Okay, so go ahead. Show me what you got.
Okay. So show me what you got.
Show me what you got.
So this is a game. The first one is this pretty small game. It recently came out to a lot of people, and I played it once, and I was thrilled by it.
Yeah.
It's a first-time designer too, and so like I didn't know what to think of it. I actually, honestly, originally got it because of the amusement park theme, and because of the artist Vincent Dutrait. I'm a huge fan of art in board games, and Vincent Dutrait is one of the best.
Yeah.
But
It's pretty good.
This game is 10 Penny Parks.
Okay.
10 Penny Parks is a lovely tile placement, worker placement game.
Okay.
Where you here you go.
Take a look.
Please, go ahead and open it up too. There's a unique thing about this game which is really nice too, which the game features.
This is unboxing now.
This is an unboxing, yes. The game features a component which is a carousel. It's an actual like carousel merry-go-round.
Really?
Yes, it does. And that merry-go-round, you rotate, and it dictates how much a certain park attraction costs. Yeah.
This thing.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Ah.
Yeah, and there's little numbers on it that increase or decrease the price of something that you want to buy from that little section. So it's set up in a circular form where there's a themed park.
Yeah.
Dinos are set up in a deck in one spot.
I see.
Pirates are in one spot, et cetera, et cetera.
It's kind of like Castles of Mad King Ludwig a little bit. Like the I guess like the further along.
Yes, yeah, I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah.
Where you can set the prices.
Yeah.
That's pretty much just like this. That's a rotating thing. It's a nice little feature, especially since you're rotating a merry-go-round.
Ooh, nice and baggied.
Yep.
No insert. I like it.
No insert. I don't think it actually came with one.
Really?
I don't.
At least they realized it.
Yes.
Because most of these inserts are just trash.
Are no good.
So in terms of adaptation, then, does it feel like an amusement park?
It feels like you're setting up an amusement park.
Uh-huh.
It's not necessarily you're at an amusement park.
Yeah.
So this is literally you have a plot of land that has like trees that you have to cut down to make room for your.
Let's see if I can find pictures of it.
Sure.
Or find folk at home.
I mean, you had a box.
I did have a box, but I don't have a board set up for it.
But
there's like board setup stuff.
You start with just a plot of land. In fact, that was a beautiful picture.
This one,
of
right?
A plot of land. Yeah, right there.
This one.
Yeah. You have a plot of land that has a bunch of trees, and that's the beginning.
Yeah.
If you want to make room for your parks, you have to break down or tear down the trees, and you can build these tiles of different sizes in order to build up your park. And whenever you build that attraction too, you have an option between rounds to advertise using that attraction. That gives you some victory points as well in between turns, but that's using up your valuable money. And you want money to build more rides and more attractions to build out this park. You can also increase the size. If you notice on the top of the top of the picture, there's like these little rectangular plots of land. You can increase the size of your park.
Oh, right. Oh, this thing.
Yeah, those
right
things
here.
Right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That increases the size of your park, so you can make it as big as you need to. But for the most part, this is a nice, family-friendly worker placement, I would say, where you just buy park attractions, put them in your park, and try to fulfill goals and try to get the most victory points that you can by the end of the game.
So, is this Roller Coaster Tycoon the board game?
No.
Okay. Then I don't want it. Get out of here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's
I didn't
okay.
mean to disappoint.
No, I actually do want to try this one.
I do think you would like it. My first time playing, it took me just about 10, 15 minutes looking over rules and watching some gameplay, and then it actually only took me, I two-handed it, two-hand soloed it, and I played this game in 35 minutes, and so it's very, very nice, I think.
Got it. Cool.
Yeah.
This looks cool. So that's 10 Penny Park.
That is 10 Penny Park.
That is your choice for, what was I saying? Adaptation.
One of them.
All right, well, what's the other one?
All right, so the other one I could not play by myself, and the reason being is because I don't have a big enough table.
Okay. You came to my table today.
Oh, yes.
You can take it apart. That's fine.
I see that. But I had to go to another friend's house who had I think it was like a 5x7 table.
Okay.
In order to fit this on the table.
Yeah.
And even then, it was a bit much.
Okay.
And that's if there was a 5-player game. We only had a 3-player game, so we had to use the regular board.
Right.
But it's interesting how there's a designer who's very, very much known for his small games. You might even say tiny games.
Okay.
And he's had Tiny Epic this and Tiny Epic that. Very, very small boxes.
I've never played any of them.
I'm not gonna lie, I haven't either. I want to try Pirates though, because I'm a big pirate thing. But in between all of these tiny games, he made a gigantic, enormous game.
Okay.
And that's what I brought with me. Now, this is only one box of it. This is Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea, and this is by designer Skull Almas.
Right.
This is the actual size of just the base game. That is. Go ahead, man. Hold it.
It's heavy. I see pirates. I see a pirate on the side.
You see a dwarf.
Yeah, there's all sorts of things.
Yeah. This is a fantasy-themed 4X game, and 4X games, for a lot of people who don't know, is written right there on the top front of the box.
Right. Explore, expand, exploit, exterminate.
Yep. And actually, that's one of the all 4 of those are each individual ways to end the game.
Yeah.
But this is a.
Oh, we have a nice flat cap from Board Game Grand.
Oh, go ahead.
There you go. That's you. You are the nice flat cap.
Oh, thank you. It has Board Game Teacher there. It has
Side
right there. It has Ed from Board Game Geek, and then this is all-inclusive board gaming pin right there. But
I love it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. So adaptation. How is this an adaptation? Tell me all about it.
It is not. It isn't. It's a 4X game.
Okay. So it's just new to you. It's the other.
Yes.
Okay.
Again, I didn't remember.
It's
I didn't
new
realize
to you
it
and
was an actual
exciting.
theme. So yes. So I played this about a month ago with the friends, and it took up most of the table.
Yeah.
But the setup is just intense.
Let me pull up a picture of the actual.
Please
board.
do. I'm gonna go ahead and open the game while you're doing that. This is literally just a box of the figures.
Yeah.
That's it. There's another box that I have this size that is full to the brim also of all the constructions that you make in the game.
Okay.
But yes, this is.
Oh, this is it right here, like on the graphic.
Yes. Now that's if you have. It looks like they're playing either a 5 or a 6 player game with that.
Yeah.
But this full baggie right here is one of the 12 factions that you can be in. It's full of It's full of everything that you need for it. Here's a nice little.
Oh jeez.
It's filled with everything.
Oh, I get to keep it now. That's how this works.
I don't know. It looks like you're the
I'm purple. That makes sense.
Trolls, maybe. I don't know.
I usually play red, but that's okay.
But no, this is just a 4X game where you're going around and you're trying to uncover those little tokens that are on the maps, either in the sea or in the land.
Okay.
And it gives you, for certain things, resources, or maybe even be like a portal or a bonus power, or victory points at the end of the game. So that's the exploring part, is when you have searched and seen every single one of those land tokens, that triggers the end of the game. You also have the units that you can move into a place, and you can attack anybody who's there.
Okay.
So you can start demolishing their troops, and eventually, if you manage to demolish their capital city, which everyone starts with at the beginning of the game.
Okay.
Once someone's capital city has been demolished, they are player eliminated, but that's okay because that's also the very end of the game too.
Okay.
Another thing that you can do is you can. That was exterminate. And then we already talked about explore.
Explore. We have exploit, so you're taking resources probably. And expand.
Expand is when you have all of your warriors and all of your peons / troops, the mine troops, out on and purchased.
That's what these are?
Those are actually standees, but the actual version of the game comes with plastic miniatures right here. And then the last one, which is exploit. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of forgot what exploit was.
Probably taking resources. You're taking resources from the land, right?
You are. I mean, you can max out on resources, but that doesn't trigger the end of the game. If someone in the chat realizes or knows what it is for the last one, I even have.
Honestly, I feel like some of these 4X, they just say that it's a 4X, but
This one literally is just that. You're exploring, you're finding things on the land, you're gathering resources, you're destroying your opponents, and you actually have an airship that you can build, which is the air part of this. You build a ship which you can transport troops, and you're also going against everybody's capital city. You have a bunch of different heroes that you have that have special abilities. Everyone's unique.
Yeah.
All the boards, every single board is asymmetric.
Okay.
So if I build, let's say, one of my forts, depending on what level my capital city is, it has different powers than, say, yours, if you were like the humans.
All right.
Has a bunch of different asymmetry, and when we played it, I lost terribly, but that's because we weren't focusing on the one person who all he was doing was just moving around the board.
I
was attacking my opponent.
Yeah.
I was winning, and then I was starting attacking my opponent, and nobody messed with the guy who triggered the end of the game. And
See, with exploit, all 3 of the players' towers are in play.
That's correct. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, us, Tabletop Express.
Yes, I appreciate that. And yes, that is correct. That's the laugh.
So, in terms of 4X, though, like, this is quick, impromptu, off the top of your head.
Sure.
Okay, better or worse? Ready? Better than Scythe.
No.
Okay, better than
opinion,
TI4 or
haven't played
Ethereum. Okay, probably is. Better than, I don't know, Alien Artifacts is another 4X. That's a name only I've heard too.
As far as 4X is concerned, I think I just played this and Scythe.
Okay,
And
so
I think that's about it.
So it's literally garbage. No, I'm kidding. It's better. You said Scythe was better.
I think Scythe is better because Scythe is my number 3 favorite game.
Okay.
And like I know that.
I know.
I know Barrows is with me on this, so.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So, anyways, yeah. All right.
But I guess if you were still talking about adaptations, are you referring to, for the most part, like have they changed a video game to a board game?
That's exactly what this is.
I have one. I didn't bring it with me, but I do have it.
Okay.
And if I would have known the topic, I can just throw it out.
I told
there.
you what the topic was.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
I told you what.
You told me at the very beginning of this thing.
It's not my fault you're not listening. All right. Well, it's your last game recommendation.
Okay.
And then you get the kit and caboodle.
All right. So I know Barrows recently just talked about Fallout Shelter.
He did.
But I am akin to Fallout, just the board game.
Yeah, I had a feeling you would talk about this.
Fallout or Bethesda Studios is one of my favorite game franchises.
It's not Wasteland Warfare. That's the miniatures one.
That is the miniatures one.
It's just called Fallout.
I have not played that one. It's just called Fallout.
Yeah.
But I can say that there's only one downfall to this game that I feel, but like if that downfall was not a part of this game, then I feel like this game would have been so much better. Because in this game, you're literally going out and you're exploring the wasteland.
Right.
You're going out and you're finding these places and you're searching in there and you're questing and you're getting these cards that have like a choose your own adventure kind of thing going to it based on skill checks. And so you can build out your character to be how you want it to be, or try to build out how you want it to be, and go out and do these quests. There was one game that took about 3 hours where most of the game I went into a vault. And I went down and further into the vault until I found the best armor in the game. And by the time it came out with that armor, I had 3 more turns before the game was over.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, the downfall of the game.
Because it's too faithful?
Not just too faithful, but it's the fact that the game rushes you. It kind of rushes you to end it as soon as possible, or else you're just going to get overrun. When all you really want to do in the game is explore. I mean, you want to go out. You want to go quest. You want to go see these things. I have barely touched the surface on what there is in this game.
Yeah.
And I really want to play more, but if I play, I don't want to, again, spend the entire game in one spot trying to complete it and then come out and then just the game is over.
Well, that feels like Fallout to me, though. When I played Fallout 3, I dive into some random cave that was there or some random vault and just dive in, spend my time there. But it sounds like they're doing that, but not balancing it with, I guess you have a timer mechanism.
The actual overworld and everything like that. Yeah, because after every one of your turns, all of these monsters are converging on you. And as soon as you finish the deck of how the monsters move or what moves or what populates the field, it starts going down and down and down, and you just you're on a huge timer. And that timer goes so quick, quicker than you realize, especially if you play this solo, which I have done. I'm not a solo gamer, as you know.
I know.
But I've done this solo.
And you say you're not a solo gamer, but you two-hand everything. So.
I do two-hand everything.
I had solo.
Well, I don't do the solo modes.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
But I really wish this game, I understand that Atomic Bonds, which is
that's the expansion.
Makes it cooperative.
Right.
Helps.
Yeah.
With that whole aspect.
Yeah.
And I really want to try it with that.
Yeah.
But that is the only gripe I have with this game, is the fact that it rushes you, but it doesn't give you a chance to explore, just like the game, I would say, intends you to.
Yeah.
That's the best part of this game, is the exploration and questing and choosing what you want to do.
Yeah.
And so, as far as the game adaptation compared to the video game
property.
adaptation,
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic.
Right.
I think it does a fabulous job. You can tell when you do a quest, you're like, I know where this quest came from.
Yeah.
I played that part in the game, and this is what I chose, and this is what I did.
Yeah.
And it's letting you do the same thing. It's letting you have the same characters or companions. It's letting you use the same like meds and build up your stats and skills and special is what it's called.
Yeah. Right, like the arm thing, special, right?
The Vault Boy, yeah.
I have a question for you from Brian Chandler.
Hey, Brian.
Squirrel, thoughts on the upcoming Skyrim game?
I looked at that.
Yeah.
I do want to try that. I'm
not eager in backing it, though, right?
Oh, I think it's already beyond the backers.
Oh, okay.
I think it's now like working on production and
things
like that. Do I want to play it? Yes, I do. Yes, Skyrim or just Elder Scrolls in general is also property of Bethesda.
Right.
And I want to try anything that they have.
Yeah.
Just because Bethesda is such a good a good system. And so like Skyrim, not my favorite of the Elder Scrolls, but I definitely do want to try it because I do want to like Fusroda and away the dragons.
Is it Morrowind or Oblivion?
Oblivion.
Oblivion
is incredible.
It's got to be one of those two.
And I played a little bit of Fallout 1 and Fallout 2, not the entire game, but I have
very different
ones. It is.
Yeah. But that's like playing GTA 1 and 2, and then 3 is like a totally different ballpark.
Oh yeah, it's like it's almost like if you play the third one, I don't know. You should bother with the first and second one if you liked it enough, and I do.
All right, well, sir,
it was a pleasure.
Those are your games that you're taking over there, so go on and take them.
And I have a game right here along with.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna finally borrow Ethnos. I've been wanting to try this. If you played Ethnos, by the way, online, people watching, let me know what you guys think. And if you have time, look up the Moana reskin of it. Because it looks really cool.
He showed me that today, and I was like so excited for it. I was like, well, now you can have my Ethnos, and I'll just find the Moana.
Just get the Moana reskin. All right, sir.
Have these for you.
Oh, jeez.
These are a few promos, including one certain DeLorean car.
Oh, figure. Nice. You see that? It's like I have to hide this from my son. He's a 4-year-old obsessed with Back to the Future.
It's a token for a game called Time Force, I believe, or something like that. I don't remember. I'm going to leave these for you, too. Mr. Barrows, other conductor of Tabletop Express, those are all your promos.
He is on here. I could add him, but you probably won't be able to hear him, because if we do, it's going to blow up the microphone.
Oh, that's fine. I know I'm about to leave anyway.
But you can join virtually. So,
I shall.
Take your games, and I will see you out of my room.
Yes.
Sorry. I'm saying it in a nice way. You're a good guy.
I will say again, congratulations.
Oh yeah, thanks. Yeah, I'm going. For those of you who don't know, I am a father of one, going to be father of 2 in June. So this is like my going away party until paternity leave is in there. So yes, yeah. So
I'm excited for you. I'm excited for your.
I'm excited and dreaded.
New edition.
Yeah. So all right, dude. Peace out.
Have a good one, everyone.
All right. So. Thank you, Squirrel. I'm going to change the audio to this guy. Okay, now you can hear me. And yes, thank you. Yeah. So we have a baby girl on the way in June, and so I'm excited. And then I'm done. That's it. I'm tapped out. So Brian. Moana, there's a Moana reskin of Ethnos. Just Google Moana Ethnos and you'll find the reskin. It was like on a Reddit post. And Back to the Future, yeah. I mean, fantastic stuff. Okay, so I am gonna actually pull onto the chat. We have someone that I've never met before, but I've seen them online a bunch. Just help me with the pronunciation. If I don't get it right, please feel free to correct me. I'm introducing Arwen Kathke.
Yep, that is absolutely correct.
Arwen Kathke. All right.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hello. So first of all, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of sleepless nights,
Always.
But it's good. I'm a solo board gamer primarily, so it's not a problem.
You can fit some stuff in. I mean, it works out.
Well,
if you really, really try hard enough, you can make it happen.
Oh, I would. So when my son was born, I would do a lot of solo gaming, just like having him like there. Like, so I would do like Nemo's War and like all these big like solo. I did Eldritch Horror solo, and I'm just having like a baby on the table while I'm just playing. So, but yeah. So welcome to the show. Welcome to Call Aboard. See, I'm doing it. It's gonna get really annoying.
Hey,
please don't stop watching. Please.
I enjoy it. It's necessary.
All right,
We
cool.
need the catchphrase.
We do. T-shirts are next, probably.
Perfect.
Maybe coasters. Coasters would be cool. All right. So, anyways, today's topic is board game adaptation. Do you have a game for the topic?
I actually have a couple for the topic. My first one that I really love promoting is The Thing, Infection at Outpost 31, I believe it is.
Play it. Yeah, that's the Mondo one.
That is probably one of my absolute favorite like social deduction games of all time. And I'm not a huge fan of social deduction either.
Well, are you a huge fan of The Thing? Tell people that have never seen The Thing, any of the things, I guess. Let them know what it's about and how this game works.
Yeah, so basically in the game, you have one person that starts off infected.
Okay.
So basically, there's this alien life form that is potentially infecting people.
Yeah.
The beautiful thing is you don't know exactly how many people are infected. So based on your player count, you start off with 1, no matter what, I believe.
Okay.
And then you can potentially progress to more, but you're never quite sure about the player count that's infected.
Yeah.
So you're trying to accomplish these missions. Like a lot of different social deduction games, you have the opportunity to sabotage. If you pass the mission, you get some sort of benefit. If you fail the mission, there's some sort of consequence. But yeah, the board game actually follows the kind of theme of The Thing very, very well.
Of the 80s movie? Or
Yep.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, so we wound up playing. We had myself. I was infected the entire time, and then my girlfriend got infected a later round. She is absolutely horrendous at social deduction games, and she wound up giving herself away like first mission she went on. So that was great. That left the door open for me to do all the heavy lifting.
How does that work in particular? Does the game decide who's infected, or do the infected players get to infect other players?
The game decides entirely who's infected.
Okay, got it. Yeah. And do you feel like it does a great job of capturing the feel of the movie? Right?
I felt it did. Yeah. Yeah, you have that paranoia, you have that tension, you're constantly second guessing everybody else at the table and, saying, well, this went bad, you were on this mission, and I just feel it did a really great job. I like getting this one out just about any time somebody wants to play something that's social deduction, but maybe with a little bit more meat on it than your standard games.
Yeah. No, I definitely want to try this one out because I've always liked the movie. And I've only seen that movie once, and the reason why is because it's utterly terrifying.
Yes, it is.
It's a really scary movie, but I really enjoy it, and because have you played any other games that are similar to this? And why would I choose this over like a Dead of Winter or a Battlestar Galactica or an Unfathomable?
So I have not played BSG, and that is one game that I actually have in my collection. I got it at Origins maybe 3 years ago or so.
Cherish it.
Market.
Yeah,
and it was definitely expensive, but I had heard really good things, so I decided to pick it up, and still haven't quite gotten the player count to the table yet.
Yeah, you're gonna want 5 for your first game.
Okay,
sure.
perfect.
Yeah.
I'm trying to set something up for Origins, but we'll see.
Yeah.
So I haven't played that. I haven't played Unfathomable. I've heard that that's very, very similar.
Yeah.
As far as the other games that you see, they do tend to be a little bit lighter when it comes to social deduction.
Right.
So that's kind of why I like this game. I haven't necessarily played any of the heavier games in this kind of caliber.
Gotcha. Well, what other game were you thinking of talking about in terms of an adaptation?
So the other game, as far as an adaptation goes, that I really love.
Sorry to interrupt you, but Ryan, that was just in the chat. He said he'll be at Origins and would love to play BSG with you. So you got two. You got two.
Let's make that happen. We need to set something up, maybe like Friday night.
Yeah, just know it's probably gonna be a 4-hour game for your first game.
Okay.
Just keep that in mind for your first game.
Sounds like a good late night game.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I like it.
Okay, go ahead now.
No, perfect. Ryan, definitely get in touch with me. We'll set something up.
Yeah.
So the other game that really fits that adaptation theme to me is Star Wars Rebellion.
Oh, I knew someone was going to bring this up.
Somebody had to.
Yeah.
I mean, you need about a good 5 hours at the very least to play it.
Yeah.
But this absolutely feels like Star Wars in a box to me.
Oh yeah, it is. It is Star Wars in a box for sure. So tell us specifically why this is Star Wars in a box. For people who never played or heard of Rebellion.
So Star Wars Rebellion is basically a 2-player asymmetric game where one player plays as the Empire and the other plays as the Rebellion players. Why can I not think? Why is brain not working?
Okay. I can help you if you need it. I love this game.
Yes.
It's Star Wars in the box. Just like how you said, one player is the rebels. The other player is the evil Galactic Empire. And the Galactic Empire is trying to discover the rebel base, while the rebels are trying to stall that as long as possible and complete different missions to take and overthrow the Empire. Basically.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Really good description. Succinct. Yeah. Way more than I was going to be.
I mean, I've pitched this a bunch to people because it is. You're right. It's 2 players and you need like 5 hours.
But it is absolutely worth it.
Yeah.
If you have the time, it's absolutely worth it. At least once.
Yeah, I agree. Everyone should play. If you like Star Wars and you want to play like a heavier board game, you should try this at least once for sure. It's one of those games I feel like that, you remember the stories of what exactly happened because it's just so radically wild each time. What are some of your do you have a favorite story? Something that comes to mind?
I do. I actually eked out a win against one of my friends a long time ago. I basically outlasted the Empire's assault, like cornering me onto my last planet. And you just see the Death Star like approaching and destroying planets and approaching your position and cornering you. And during the game, you get to maybe move your base. I think it's once. You can basically pick up, move your base, and relocate. And it bought me enough time to gather everything together so that I could make a last assault and basically win out on time.
Yeah. And it's so funny when you say that specifically. When I play these games, I try to be very in character and very, I guess, arrogant about it. So I was playing a game against my friend. We're still friends. And he was playing the Empire. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to start in Endor, which is this far corner. It's where the Ewoks live, this planet, right? I'm going to start in Endor. Rebels going to build there. But I knew I was going to do that at the beginning of the game. I knew I was going to do that. So what I did was that day, I actually have a T-shirt of like a graphic of like Endor. So the whole time while we're playing, I would just have this big, honking sign for Endor on my chest. As like, so when it does come to that moment, I just wanted to be like staring them in the face. And it did come to that moment. And it was just so great.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. And then I remember once I was the Galactic Empire and I was able to use so the rebels upgraded Luke to become a full Jedi. He went to Dagobah and became like full Jedi. But then I was control of Palpatine, and I was able to convince Palpatine to. I used Palpatine to. I used Palpatine and Vader to bring Luke to the dark side successfully, and we ended up winning the game that way.
Nice.
Yeah, and
I like it.
It was a nice, happy family reunion, and that's what Star Wars is at the end.
Yeah.
That's what board games are. You want camaraderie and working together and making family happy. So
everybody sitting down at the table themselves.
Yeah, I mean the rebels weren't. Well, actually, the one friend I was playing that with, he said he was going to watch today. So if he is, calling you out. All right, so yeah, Star Wars Rebellion. That's a great choice. Did you have one more for adaptation? Or
I looked at video game adaptations, and I couldn't find anything that was in my collection that really fit that bill. I did have a game a long time ago that I wound up actually selling off, and it was a great adaptation. I really loved the gameplay on it. I just could never get it to the table, and that was Gears of War.
Oh, I bought this for my brother. He's a huge Gears of War fan, and we still haven't played it.
And it's a great game. I mean, I really, really loved it, but it's so hard to get to the table with all the other legacy and campaign games that I have. It's just one that was like, yep, this is good, but I need somebody that is going to appreciate it and be able to get it to the table to enjoy it. I wound up picking this up. This goes for good money.
Yeah, it does.
And I got a decent amount. I wound up picking this up in Canada, of all places, at a little board game shop that I had visited called Meeple Mart up in Toronto.
Okay.
I picked this up for $30.
Nice.
And I wound up actually being able to profit off of a game for once.
Yeah, and this game, you played it though, right? Or you didn't get a chance to play it.
I did get a chance to play it.
Okay.
It's a very similar to a dungeon crawler. You're exploring through, you're trying to get through these hordes of monsters, and achieve basically an objective that comes up. So you're exploring these map tiles, kind of what some of the different monsters. It's been a while since I played either Gears of War or the board game, but you're basically fighting these creatures off, and you can see what some of them are, but a lot more are going to wind up spawning. So you're trying to hold them off, and you're trying to press your way forward. The Locust, that's what it was.
The Locust, yeah, that was their name. Yeah.
And then, just basically get to the end of the map or hold down a checkpoint, something like that. So really well done thematically to the board, to the video game. I thought that they did a fantastic job with that. But it was just, something that was not going to hit the table, and I had to let it go.
I do want to play this at some point. I have a feeling this is going to be up my alley, because I like dungeon crawls when they're quick and fast, but also tense with decisions. I like that in a dungeon crawl. So if this feels like Gears of War, I'm happy about that.
Yeah, definitely.
Sure. Yeah. All right. So those are some adaptations you had. Is there any game that was new to you that you recently played that either calls out to you like this was amazing, or like is there what other game out there is lingering in your mind?
So somebody already stole my thunder with Tenpenny Parks.
Okay.
That has been on my table as well. It's been a great game. Recently I got the chance to play Big Easy Busking.
Never heard of that.
Oh, it's wonderful. Very small area control game. about being a band in New Orleans.
What?
And you're basically playing these song cards. You have a certain amount of energy that you're using through your different instruments, and the songs require a different amount of energy from each of your band members. You take that energy and you place it on a location, and that is your area majority component.
Oh man.
So you're making these very juicy decisions. The area control is usually down to 1 unit of energy.
Okay.
So it's very tight. And especially with a higher player count, it can get extremely tight.
Are you like competing bands or?
Yeah, you're competing for crowd's attention, essentially.
Oh, cool.
So you're trying to play the best song that's best going to engage them. You do get bonuses when you play a song that matches the theme of the location.
Yeah.
So every location gets a different theme that you're trying to match with your song cards. And it also includes one of my favorite mechanisms in a game, and that is spending victory points to make victory points.
Oh, nice.
So you can actually go and spend some of your money or victory points to get back some energy to kind of put yourself over the top on location, play like one final song.
Yeah.
Really, to me, it hit on a thematic level very, very well. But it had some really good mechanical play as well, and I loved it. It's portable.
Yeah,
really,
the box looks small.
It's very small. Yeah, it's
Popping this on the wish list. Go ahead.
Absolutely. It's much smaller than a standard size game box would be, but with having a full game experience as well.
Yeah. I have to interrupt for 1 second. I do have to apologize. Yes, I haven't read every review. Sorry, I almost said any, and that's not true. I've read the viticulture one. I think that might be it. Oh, so I'm sorry, Brian. I love you, Brian. You're a great guy, Brian. But no, I have not. I've not read the biggest easy busking on your site.
Yeah, Brian was actually one of the people that really brought it to my attention when I was talking with him on my podcast. So
nice. That's awesome. I need to try this out. This sounds great. Are you into like jazz music, like the New Orleans scene and all that stuff?
I like having it on the background.
Yeah.
Like if I'm at a club and somebody's playing it, one of the cruise ships I was on a few years ago actually had that. They had a jazz club that you could go and listen to jazz music every night. And we would go down there after dinner, have a couple of drinks, and just listen to some jazz.
Yeah,
I really appreciate that.
Yeah. If next time you do play this, what I'm going to do when I play this, I'm going to put on my favorite of the New Orleans jazz bands, the Preservation Hall Jazz Society.
Nice.
Try them out. Preservation Hall. They're really, if you go to New Orleans, Bourbon Street is awful. Bourbon Street is awful. Awful place. But off of Bourbon Street is the Preservation Hall Jazz Band, and they do shows every night. And when you go to New Orleans, go to that. Everyone who's watching, if you've been there, it's great. It's like Out of Time. They took you. It's so cool.
I love that.
Yeah, and this has that vibe. So
there's actually a link to a soundtrack that you can have on in the background as well. So
that's cool.
So I think that they did a great job. I just released my review of it, and I can't recommend this enough.
I have to play this. Man, I can't believe everyone's been talking about this thing.
Because it's such a good game.
Yeah, it looks so cool. Oh, man. Okay, I'm trying this out. Well, this has been a pleasure. This has been great.
Here.
Thank you for joining in for this conversation. Is there anything else you want to tap off on? How can we watch? I don't, plug your podcast. What's your next episode?
Sure. So I just released one earlier today. It was about Big Easy Busking, Roaring Right, and Bandata.
What's the
so
name?
the podcast name is Cardboard Time.
Cardboard Time, right? Yeah, that's right.
Yep. And I release a new episode every 2 weeks.
There you are. Cardboard Time. Check out Cardboard Time, guys. I'm gonna check this out as soon as this is done.
Awesome.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me on.
All right. I'll see you later.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. That was awesome. Yeah. Oh, we have check out who? The Michael Williams Band. Michael Williams. That name sounds familiar. I know I know there was a band with what am I thinking of? It'll come back to me. That's all right. We're talking board games. I'm gonna change it up though right now. We've been talking about board game adaptations. I have not talked about my pick. I'm gonna talk about my pick for board game adaptation, and I'm pulling back on. You better be ready. I'm pulling you back in. Yeah, get ready. Co-conductor of the channel, Mr. Chris Barros is coming back in. Get that finger out of that nose, sir. No, I'm kidding.
I have a surprise for you too.
What is it?
So
you want to do that first? I hate surprises.
Just let me lead it because I'm very much about being positive, but I just got to put this one. I want to say to everybody, I want to thank we definitely have active chat tonight.
Yeah, the chat's been blowing up.
And I love seeing it. But if anyone wants to join in the back end, it's really easy. You don't even need to go on video. And we don't bite. So but I do gotta say, I've mentioned this, so I just have to throw this out there. This is the adaptation that does not work. It's this piece of garbage which has lost the game. All right. And
Are we burning it tonight? Are we burning it tonight?
No, I'm not burning it. I'll never burn it. I love Lost, but this game is trash. I pulled it out. I don't call games trash. I gave this a 1 on PGG. I was just pulling it out. Like I got this baggie of tiles for exploration, not including these other tiles right here. Whatever. Doesn't matter. This game, the construction card, like you look this up, this game is bad. And I was joking because I was reading like one of the event things. Yeah. And like they have like a nice word at the top, like whispers, encounter. And then like if there's no story, I don't know. This Lost is a story. It's a great story. It's about characters. And I love this show. I mean, my son is named Desmond. So, you know the show, but this game is trash. I got this for free on the street.
All right. Giving board games on the street over here.
Yeah, that's the only reason I own it. I didn't buy it.
What's going on in that town of yours?
It's so, but it's like honestly, there's pieces like that are this size, and there's like these little tiny pieces, like and they're tiny.
Listen, like, I get it. As a slave to an IP, I get it because
I mean, if this was not if you can get this for free and you're a Lost fan, it looks great on the shelf. Just look at this big, beautiful box that says Lost the game and it's got these great people. Yeah, don't buy this game.
I have to show you this now. You talk for a minute.
I could talk for it. I do want to encourage people though to pop in on the back end. I know he's got a China's box there.
Big box time.
Yeah, but I know Ryan's got games to talk about, but we definitely, if you've got one you want to talk about under the theme that's been talked about tonight, we see in the chat, and I have seen Labrie. I did enjoy this. This is the first post-Lost show that felt kind of like Lost that I've liked so far. So,
all right, here it is. Here it is. As you know, I'm a big Ghostbuster fan. I have nearly every Ghostbuster board game out there in this box because I don't even put it in my board game shelf because a lot of these games are just trash. Like components are fine. Theme is there. A lot of them are just like okay to just awful, and I feel you on the Lost.
At least they have real rule books. This is the rule book for Lost the game. It's freaking.
But I am gonna talk about the good one. The good one.
Please get the positive.
Let's get the good one. Let's get the good one. This is the one that is in the thumbnail. And I'm talking about Contra, the board game, right? So Contra is probably my favorite NES game. It's just like comfort food, that game for me. You know, the music, the whole aesthetic, just like running in and just like blasting things like with 2 players. Oh man, especially if you both are going in, it's great. And Contra the board game, like look at the box. Like they have the style of the NES cartridge on here. They know exactly what they are doing, right? They know what they are doing here. And this board game feels like the video game. They did an excellent job with feeling like it because, just like the real game, it is blistering hard. It is
I was gonna say that was not an easy game.
It
This
is
is where we
not.
get to age ourselves by saying we played it on our NESs.
Yeah, it is a very hard game. So here I have a let's go to Board Game Geek for 1 second, and you could see right here. This is the jungle level. So this is the translation of like the first level in Contra. So in Contra, you're just running in as either rip-off Arnold or rip-off Rambo, and you're going in. You're just shooting. You're just shooting. That's basically, and enemies just keep coming. And this game does that extremely well, because that's exactly what's going on. You are going in, you're moving and attacking, and every turn there's just more and more bad guys just coming in. And it's based off of the modular deck system by the Sadler brothers. So if you've ever played Street Masters or Alter Quest or Brooks City, or the new one, I believe Hour of Need is another modular deck system game. This is a streamlined modular deck system game. I have my copy because the pre-order copies aren't out yet, but they're selling it retail at Barnes & Noble, which is pretty...
It was hidden away where I found your copy.
Yeah, right. Because, you know, you were going, I'm like, if they have Contra, pick that up. And
I don't have Contra, but I have a regular Nintendo.
Oh, nice. There you go.
So
I have Contra for a Nintendo. We could play it. And the thing about this game, it brought back the memories. You know, it really feels like I heard the music in my head as I was playing it. I heard the sound effects when I was dying. And like it just captured that feel so well. The rules are, I thought it might be a lot. The rule book is not very friendly at all, but the rules itself are pretty straightforward. And there's a whole campaign mode because everything has campaign modes now. But this, it works so well. If you like the video game, definitely try it out. If you like solo games or 2-player games, try it out. It's if you like very difficult co-ops, like I'm talking like, I don't know, Ghost Stories is like probably the most difficult one I've played, right? Ghost Stories. It's kind of Ghost Stories-esque, but everyone remembers about Contra, up, down, left, right, BA, right? Yep. Everyone remembers that code. And there's an easy mode of the game, and it's still pretty hard. So there's been discussion online as to how to make the difficulty a little easier. So I effectively did the Konami code in real life, and I just, instead of drawing, you know, you're limited with the cards you draw, and you could basically draw an additional card every turn, and it makes the game a little more friendly and feels like you have 30 lives, because that's what that code did. And it is true, just like the game. You pick up a weapon, you know, and if you get shot once, you die, and you lose a life, and you lose your weapon and your power up, and you just keep going. And but it works so well. It works so well as a board game. You know, it's not like they took the DNA of Contra and put it into board game form of the NES one, and it just, yeah. So Contra the board game, I like it a lot. I gave it a 7.9 for now, which you know, I think is good. It'll probably stay in my collection for a little bit.
It's not a bad score.
Yeah.
It is better than my 1 that I gave Lost the Board Game. Which, if you have me throwing rules in the air, I don't like it.
I do the Konami code. That's So I basically just give myself extra lives. You know, you get because you have these tokens, and when you are hit, you need to discard a specific color token, red, blue, or green, depending on what kind of damage was done to you. So you give yourself extra tokens, and boom, you're there. That's the Konami code of that. But yeah, that's Contra. I like it. I still have more scenarios. It's still on my table, and this is the bad guy, because just like in the first Contra, right? You're just fighting like a giant wall. This is defense wall is the name of this character.
The pieces look cool. No, I know you've been playing this quite a bit. The other one I was gonna
blue pants and red pants. They're not painted, but that's blue pants and red pants. They have names, but they're blue pants and red pants. So go ahead.
I'll throw out the other one, by the way, that just to make sure I mention it, because I kind of changed up and did Fallout Shelter, but I will note that the other game that came out in the past year was Stardew Valley, which I think replicates the game really well. I don't know that it makes a great board game. It makes for a good board game, not necessarily great, but I think Stardew Valley did a good job realizing what it was like as a game, and they took it seriously when they made this game as a board game. But Stardew Valley was one that I know. I mean, it definitely looks like the video game, for sure. But it's fun. There's definitely some randomness to it that can impact you, because you're going through those piles at one point, and like you need certain fish, right, or like a certain combination of stuff depending what it takes to fix up the old community center.
I've never played the game, either the board game or the digital.
It's not bad. I'm glad I own it. I own it, and it will get some plays, but I don't know what its long-term staying power is, but right now I'm glad I own it. So
see, I wonder if is this one of those things where it's too faithful? So what I mean specifically, like they're like, okay, it's like this in a video game, so let's just find a thing that's like this in board game form. Like, is it and in doing so, they're taking away some of the adaptation part of it, which is, it's not, you don't want to port something, you don't want to port it, you want to make sure it's still an enjoyable, playable experience that captures the aesthetic. Like Contra captures the aesthetic,
right.
And that's what I look for in an adaptation. If it captures that.
You might be right, because when you were trying to repair the community center in Stardew Valley, what happens is you are trying to collect certain things, and they're sitting in those piles, which you're going to have to go through and find the stuff. So it's not,
it's a grind, right?
I don't know if that's, I haven't played it enough, to be honest. It's been a while, but I think I really enjoyed the game. Like I said, I think it's a good game, not a great game. So I think as long as you accept that from a collection perspective, you're not finding everything like right away, right? Like you can, I think it's okay in that way. I don't think they went too far in that regard. And I don't know what they would have done differently to change it, quite frankly, because to search for a specific card or something, it might be, that would make it too specific, and then you're going through the pile. Rachel's got a great, if you bring
pull it up.
The one comment here, Minecraft Builders and Biomes. I have gifted this. My son and I bought this for one of his friends, and I've got a chance to play it. This was a really well done, I thought, in terms of a adaptation. I thought they did a pretty good job with this one. And it's got really cool components. So if you see this at a Target, you probably can get this for half price at this point. I don't know, Rachel.
I think I have seen it at Target.
Yeah, I don't know where you got yours, Rachel, but I do know that it was pretty inexpensive. So it was not an expensive game. It definitely fit that, like, and it was there for like on the mainstream side, because it came out directly out of Target when I first saw it. So that's another good one. Great choice by Rachel there.
Yeah, I do want to talk about one that I was hoping Anthony was going to come on, because I know what Anthony would say, and I'm wearing the shirt for it just cuz. So it is a brand new shirt I got, and it's where is it? There is it. Yeah, you see it on the corner over there? The Great White coming out.
Yep.
So Jaws, the board game, I think it's a fantastic adaptation of the first.
You're right. If Anthony was here, he would have brought this up.
Yeah, he would have. So I'm gonna.
Dad's is not here too.
He's not in, but I'm representing him right now, because Jaws is my second favorite movie of all time, and this game feels like the movie. It really does a fantastic job of feeling like the movie, with Jaws, it is a game that is split up in 2 acts, just like the movie, because the movie is trying to convince swimmers to stay out of the water, but people just keep going swimming. And then eventually the other half of the movie is they go out to sea and destroy the shark. And it does such a fantastic job of doing those 2 acts. So the first act is the hidden movement act of the game, like a Fury of Dracula, Scotland Yard kind of thing, where you're trying to find where the shark is and pop barrels on the shark, right? And then eventually it goes to the second act, which is you're on the orca, which is the boat, right? And the shark pops out from different parts of the boat, and you need to kind of just guess where the shark is going to come and blast it in the face. Oh man, this game captures Jaws so well. Yeah, see right now they're saying I'm going to go over here, and then all of a sudden the shark will come out and start biting at the boat, and there's a really nice shark mini. Where is that shark mini? I'm sure someone posted an image of the shark mini. There's the shark mini. Look at that. Look at that shark meeple. It's so cute. Yeah, and right, Mr. Coaster, definitely Jaws is an amazing adaptation. Yeah, and it does such a great job. I don't like shark movies, but I love Jaws. Jaws is just such a special movie, and Prospero Hall just knocked it out of the park with this adaptation. Granted, I do think Horrified is a better game. I'm a big Universal monster fan. I don't feel like it feels like a Universal monster game. I do, but Jaws though feels like Jaws. Jaws, it's like, of course, that's what it is. It's Jaws. They did Back to the Future as well, right? They did Back in Time. Same thing. First movie, Prospero Hall, just like the movie. You got to get the time machine working. You have to make your parents fall in love, and you need to make sure you get there in time to escape out. And it's got a nice DeLorean. It's got nice pieces. Yeah. This, if you know the movie Back to the Future, you know how to play Back to the Future Back in Time.
It is that you gotta get to knock Biff out. You gotta make people fall. It's great. I really do like that Back to the Future one.
Yeah. It does a great job.
It's funny though. I gotta say, you could go for this topic and just say Prospero Hall and then talk for like 3 hours.
I could, but then I got to talk about the Bob Ross game, and I don't think that's very. I don't think that's a good one.
I'm not saying you have to talk about every game.
Yeah, and Biff was a pain in the butt in that game for sure. I don't like rolling Biffs. You have to roll. You roll dice, and anytime you roll the Biff face, he'll move in, and you gotta like sucker punch him and stuff, and he'll have like little swirls over his head because it's pretty funny. We do have someone else that just joined in the chat, and I guess he's back home. So Squirrel, you're back in the chat now. Squirrel, I'm picking on you right now because you were the only person on the planet I know that has told me Espen, Back to the Future, Back in Time is not a good game. So
yeah, I even said it right there in the chat. By the way, can you hear me?
Yeah, exactly.
It's Biff's fault.
It's Biff's fault. Just I guess that's just how the Biff rolls. That's just how the Biff rolls.
It's how I roll the Biff.
But did you feel like it was like Back to the Future at least?
I think it was that specific like part of Back to the Future, like that specific one movie, yes, where they actually like went back in time.
Right, the first movie.
I guess kind of like there's a lot of things you didn't actually do. But you're just going around gathering stuff.
Yeah, but
that's bringing it to certain locations, and
man, such a killjoy. Why'd I bring you on?
It's your fault.
Why'd I bring you on?
Jeez. Look, if you need me to killjoy, I can just throw things around the Lost game again if you want. That's
that's okay. We don't want to lose viewership. We're doing okay. Don't forget to like and subscribe, y'all. I'm kidding.
No, I do. If I could take a moment to, I want to make sure I say this because we've got some great comments. Obviously, thank you to Board Game Grand, who I know who's here. Mr. Coaster's here. Rachel is near, obviously. Cardboard Time, if you're running late. It was really awesome to have everyone on and talking on some games. So go back if you joined us late. A lot of good conversation has happened tonight, and what I hope, because this whole vision behind this thing really was the idea. I know that Ryan, you really wanted to do a call-in show, so
I wanted to do a call-in show,
and I just want to encourage people that you can do audio only. So if anyone is around and wants to jump in,
what's it going to take for us to get a 1-800 number? That's the next step.
Not that. I don't know. That's how much is that? But yeah, feel free to pop on. You don't need to be on camera. I know not everyone wants to be on camera. We're used to it, but well, free. We'd love to have you on here. And Brian, I don't know what you're doing sitting in the chat when you could jump on here, because
don't worry. It'd be so confusing. We have two Ryans, a Brian. Like what's next? Like we have we got Ryan Johnson on here, right? RIAN. No, I'm kidding. Obviously, if you want to join, there's to join us.
I just had to give Brian a hard time.
But I do. Now that I have you, all three of us on, there was a game that was mentioned that we didn't go into full detail on. And since you're all three on here, I do want to talk about the one that everyone talks about in terms of feeling like the TV show. That's Battlestar Galactica, the board game, because we literally played this.
There it is.
There's your brand newly acquired copy. Now, back Battlestar Galactica, the board game, we played together last year. And that was the first time I played
only a year ago?
You. Yeah, it was a year ago.
It was about a year ago at this point. Yes,
right. I do remember that. Yeah, it was over here at my place on this table right here.
It was that table that you're smacking and hurting my ears with. And this game feels like the show, and everyone says that, but it really does. If you know the Battlestar Galactica TV show, where you're trying to guess who the Cylon is, and you're not sure even if you are a Cylon, because you might be programmed so well that until you're activated, and then like Jimi Hendrix comes out and starts playing.
Which I did play. I played
you did
when that time came.
You did play, but this is one of those games that it feels like the show. It has those memories. You get to really reenact and get that going. And Mr. Coaster, he's saying right now, it's so good. Only get to play it once in a blue moon, though, but it does feel so right. And it is true. It is one of those games where you play once in a blue moon. It's one of those big event games, because you have to have a player count of at least 5. At least 5. You could do 6, but you really want 5.
Yeah.
With the expansion, I think you could change that up with 6, but I haven't dived into the expansion stuff because the base is just so good, And then it's a 4-hour commitment. It does fly, though. It really does fly.
Didn't even realize it was dinner time by the time we finished.
Yeah, and it's one of those games that has everyone engaged at the table, everyone doing social deduction, trying to figure out who is the Cylon. And sometimes it's one of those things where there is no Cylon in the beginning of the game, and then later on, all chaos breaks loose. But even then, it could be mitigated. Depending.
You mentioned player count. I just want to point out, I think the other thing is, I think it. And I say this, I think about Betrayal at Death on the Hill, which is not as good as Battlestar Galactica.
The company,
I enjoy it for the same reason. Is it comes down to people and the experience. So it does need the right people. You need people who are going to kind of invest in that time in the game, because it is not a game for like, I'm not going to just kick off someone's like first or second game that they ever play with me with this game. And I'm also going to find people who are going to get into like a little bit of not role playing per se, but at least have that attention span to the game, because you can't be like checking your text constantly or things like that. It won't be as fun of an experience. And especially because I remember in playing this, the most recent with both of you, I really thought someone was and we were like almost vividly getting annoyed with each other.
We were
in a friendly,
in a good way, right? In a good way.
Like we were like actually angry, but like I don't trust him anymore. And that experience does not come if you don't have the right people, because there has to be a mutual respect at the table too, to know that, okay, you may start to suspect people who are not. So I mean,
you can't be quiet about it.
No, you can't. You gotta say it out loud. So I don't know.
Mr. Coaster, you're saying that he played it at Dice Tower West, right? So he says, I have no plans for the next 4 hours. Now, I wonder about this game, and if you have played it before in the chat or you guys, if you played it with strangers, like this kind of game with strangers, how? Because when we played, we all knew each other to some degree. Barrows, maybe you were the outlier that didn't know much of the people there, but
right.
How do you think that game would be different with complete strangers versus like the 5 of you? Because I've done complete strangers and I've done like friends.
I think I'm okay with strangers. I think it's more like as long as they're. I think there's just I have to make sure they have that investment in the time that we're going to spend.
Yeah.
And if we're all sitting there to do it, I think it's fine if they're strangers. I think this isn't like vastly different, but this isn't like playing a game of like Cards Against Humanity with someone. You need to know how they think per se. You know what I mean? Right. Like this is, I think, a game where maybe it helps if you know some people. I almost like it better, the idea of not playing with a group where I know every little thing about everybody, because I think it adds a little bit more of the chaos to it. I'm kind of okay with that. So
yeah, I was on I think we played this, if I'm not mistaken, on a Saturday or a Sunday, and the next day I got on Tabletop Simulator with random people, and we played a 4-player game of this on Tabletop Simulator. None of them knew how to play. I didn't know anybody. I had to teach them the rules. I had to learn how to do the 4-player or 6-player variant where
with the sympathizer.
It was fine. The one issue that we had was one person had an issue with their mic, and so they had to like type out everything, and that unfortunately brings it down, because again, this is definitely a game where you need to be engaged. Like you have to have like certain emphasis and how you speak and how you say things, because this is honestly one of those games where it's literally social deduction. Social. You have to be really social about it, and like how someone speaks or like what they say could really change up how things are.
I think I need to play this game in person. I don't know that I could do what you do. I feel like this falls under it's an experience at the table.
This is not an async game for sure.
No, it's not.
No, definitely not async. But like it's an experience at the table that if I play this once every few years, even I'm still gonna I still get the value from it every single time. I think that speaks kind of to what Mr. Coaster's saying, which is like even when you just get to play it every once in a while, it's still good.
Yeah. Well, apparently I'll get to play it again at Origins with Cardboard Time. So
that's true. Yeah. And he's right. There is a bond that exists with people who enjoy the game, because even if you just meet those people, if you know everyone going in is committed to this game and they really want to play Battlestar Galactica because they know what they're getting into, that's all you need. I think that goes with a lot of board games, quite honestly. Food Chain Magnate, same exact way. 18xx games, same exact way. If you know what you like, you're going in to do what you like.
Yes.
Even Arc Nova. If you like Arc Nova and going in, I'm just throwing out random names now.
And I'm just going to drop a friendly reminder for anyone if anyone is interested in joining still. Just drop the link.
I do want to bring up a second surprise topic on here. Now, I'm keep picking on Mr. Coaster, but he's active in here. So he said he started watching with the missus the Battlestar Galactica series after playing the game. Now, do you, for those of you watching right now, or even you guys are over here, is there a game with an intellectual property where you maybe played that first and then dove back into like some of the lore? I'm just gonna jump in and give my example. So I played Hellboy the board game because I like dungeon crawls, and I played Hellboy the board game, and I was blown away with how much fun I had with Hellboy the board game. So I started reading the comics right after, and the comics are fantastic. They're really, really good. The game does not do a great job of translating the comic into a board game, I think, but it's still a fun game for one. And I do think it is a it is one of those cases where the intellectual property I checked out after, and I really did enjoy. That's my answer.
I'm trying to think. I feel like a lot of the ones that I've gotten were because I was interested in it to begin with. So I have to. That's a tough question. I have to kind of think to it.
Yeah, same here.
Sorry for a surprise.
No, it's good.
It's fine.
Good question.
I have 3 games here in front of me that even Battlestar Galactica, which we just talked about. I did not play it until after I watched the show. That was by the way, you and another friend of ours' suggestion. So I actually watched the entire series, and I do feel like watching it beforehand made the experience more enjoyable.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily think it was necessary again to actually enjoy the game, because the game itself is really good. I mean, take Unfathomable for example. Like, that's this game with the Cthulhu theme, so I'm sure it's enjoyable regardless of the theme. But I specifically do this one. Now that I think about it, I have 2 other games in front of me to eventually talk about, but no, I don't have any games that I can think of, even the ones that have already been mentioned, that I have played before watching or seeing or knowing the IP. So I can't exactly, I don't think I have an answer for that, actually.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a reverse.
The only thing I will say is I have played a game, say, maybe I played a game of Western Legends and was in the mood to watch Western movies. So I've got thematically into something.
Yeah.
So there's been things like that. I think I did finally got a good solo game of Dead Reckoning in, and was in the mood to watch like Pirates of the Caribbean or something. You know what I mean? Like there's those kind of moments. Treasure Island might be one that I had not actually read the book, but in years I had read it, but I didn't remember anything. And then I saw there was a board game, and I suddenly had desire to read the book again.
Why would you read the book? The best version is the Muppet version.
Well, the Muppet version is good.
For real.
Tim Curry? Oh, yes.
Like, why would you read Treasure Island and do yourself the disservice of skipping out on Tim Curry? Get out of here with that.
We do have a Josh setting in the chat there.
I'm gonna pull it up right now. I'll pull it up right now. So Josh saying the best illegal IP, Hollywood Golden Age. So Hollywood Golden Age is a game that I brought over for Josh to try out. I love this game. This is a Reiner Knizia game that is called Dream Factory, but there's a version in Spain called Hollywood Golden Age that was sold in the Board Game Geek store, and it's just straight out classic movies and classic actors, and you can have Alfred Hitchcock direct Ben-Hur and this kind of thing. And it's an auction game because it's Knizia, of course. But this game, what I really like about this game too is the theme was able to pull in like my dad, who doesn't really play board games at all but loves old movies, and he was able to actually want to play this and ask to play this game. And I think that's the big win for me, getting my dad to play it. And thank you for chiming in. Muppet Treasure Island is the best Treasure Island, confirmed.
There is no debate on that one as far as I'm concerned. It is. I will say that the Treasure Island game, which looks interesting, it seems like math with protractors and stuff though. So I need to eventually play it and find out if I like it.
I have it, and apparently
I'll chime into you, Rachel, in a minute.
It apparently is 2 players, but apparently it's one of those games where one person, it's like one versus all.
Yeah,
and
it's one versus. Yeah.
So I definitely can't play it on my own, but I wanted to play it because, again, pirates. So.
So I have Rachel coming in saying, I haven't played Stardew or Minecraft video games, just the kids have, which is why we had it. But I love both of those games, regardless of not having played the IP. Yeah, and
Minecraft was definitely more surprising than I thought when I played it. In a good way.
But yeah, this is exciting.
I will say Board Game Grand earlier also mentioned, I was laughing. She's like, no, it was just, she said something about Animal Crossing, the Monopoly board game, being disappointing. And I said, well, but it's funny though, because a lot of people like get down on a Monopoly game or something like that. But like, if you go Mario Kart, I think it was Mario Kart or one of the
Monopoly Gamer.
Monopoly Gamer.
It's a fantastic it's actually a fantastic game. So like they did a fun job because they had like powers and ability. Like it felt good. I would be down for a proper, Mario Kart game, but
I'm down for Monopoly. Bring it.
Monopoly Zelda is the reason why I got married on the day that I did, in fact.
We'll go on because I never played Monopoly Zelda.
Sorry. So my wife and I had 2 different dates in mind in order to get on what day to get married. I suggested like October around Halloween, and she suggested mid-May. And we've had 3 board games to play to find out who would get the title of what day to get married on. And we played Trivial Pursuit. She chose that, and she kicked my butt as she usually does with Trivial Pursuit.
Nice.
I chose. I want to say.
Monopoly
I forgot
Zelda.
what I chose specifically. It was actually Monopoly. It was specifically Zelda Monopoly I chose. Seeing your shirt there, Barrows. And because usually, like all the other times before when we played Monopoly, I would beat her. And this time it did not work out. I did not win. And so her day of May 21st came to fruition. And so, that's in 4 days.
And 4 days.
That's in our 5-year anniversary. So I'm not going to be here starting on Thursday.
That's right. The wood anniversary.
I have to bring this up real quick. Because I was mentioning it earlier. I love Animal Crossing. It was atrocious. I later bought it because it was Animal Crossing.
Yeah,
so, there you go.
Playing with Ghostbusters. I will buy literal garbage that has the word Ghostbusters on it. That's what I'll do. So
I at least in my case, I picked literal garbage up off the street.
Yeah, right,
so.
Exactly.
I mean, I have IPs that I don't even know. I haven't played yet. I'm gonna grab them real quick, but it's pretty much my favorite IP, which is right there. So
it's hard to see. It's hard to see. No, you can just tell us. Jeez, he's going. Oh man,
he's moving.
He's moving.
You want to talk about old games?
I didn't say I would talk about old games. Okay, there it is.
So, this one is a grail game of mine. But recently I found something.
But it feels nothing like DuckTales, I'm sure. Oh yeah. Yeah, that looks like that.
I also have the other super rare Uncle Scrooge board game called Uncle Scrooge Lost Money on the way as well, and that supposedly is every Uncle Scrooge / DuckTales board game released in the United States. So
well, I want to just take this moment really quick. I do want to thank everybody for hanging out tonight.
Me too.
It's really been a very active chat, which is always great to see everybody. And in particular, talking with each other. I mean, honestly, that's what it's all about. We've been doing this channel now. I've told Ryan
it's
on
been
a few occasions
4 years.
that like this past 6 months, there's been a difference, and we appreciate the community coming out.
Yeah.
I'm going to encourage people again. Please, next time that we do one of these shows, come on out. Maybe we always drop the theme. I'll try. Maybe what I'll try to do is let people know the theme a few more days in advance.
Sure,
Ryan.
I mean, we can always talk about what game. You know.
Well, and I think that's the thing. You can always talk about a game you've played this month. I mean, certainly. Can I note, by the way, though, this is not your last video.
No. So Contra Board is
for a few days.
It's a daily video, I believe. We're doing one tomorrow and one the next day and one the next. No, I'm kidding. We're aiming for monthly.
We have a good one because we are doing, if you haven't been following, we've got a Vagrant Song series going where we have played 2 games of Vagrant Song, our 3rd game of Vagrant Song, including myself, Ryan, and as you all know him, the Hand, our 3rd player.
Right.
Just the Hand. That's all you need to know because that's all you'll see is his hand.
John the Hand.
Yes, John the Hand. But we are doing the 3rd scenario, and and then I'm not allowed to hang out with Ryan for a few weeks.
In person, correct.
In person,
correct.
I'm not allowed.
Yeah. You got the cooties.
There is a TTS mod for it, so.
For Vagrant Song? There is, but it's only the first 2 scenarios.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so we'll be boned. Like the dice, they're bones. That's why I'm saying we'll be boned. Okay, so it sounds like you have 2 other IPs. Does Dune feel like Dune?
Yes.
Does Firefly feel like Firefly?
More than Dune feels like Dune, yes.
Okay.
Out of all these games here, besides Battlestar Galactica, this is the most thematic game I've ever played.
Really?
Yeah.
That sounds fair. I've played it as well.
I just wanted to show them. I know we're closing up or wrapping up. I just wanted to show these last 2 games that I have that I made that I felt like the idea did really well for the game.
I should give Firefly a shot.
Firefly, I have Firefly as well. I don't have any expansions, but that's a good one.
That giant box up there
Firefly.
Is all Firefly.
Yeah.
So it's Fireflies.
Yeah, it's Fireflies.
I've always preferred Rufus T. Firefly.
Well, I will say this. Please, few things. Please go check out Cardboard Time. Board Game Grand does some awesome stuff.
Board Game Dads. He was here vicariously. Motorcycles as well. Harley Davidson.
Sorry.
Our false sponsor.
And then it got Brian was on. Brian, I know it was going off to eat dinner because he's on the West Coast, but I will say make sure you go check out his accessibility stuff because he's got some awesome stuff. And look, now we've got someone who wants Firefly. So good for you.
This one's for sale.
I knew you would say that. All right. None of that. Get out of here with that.
But I want to thank again, Ryan. Congratulations for getting this up and off the ground, because this is the fact that we had such an active chat. Like, we really wanted to do this right, and so I appreciate it. So congratulations on that. This has been fun, and thank you for letting me name it.
You did. Of course you would name it Call Aboard. Sorry, Call Aboard.
I don't have the whistle will be back for Vagrant Song. I have the train whistle.
Yeah, you don't.
It's in the car.
You sold it already.
I was blowing my daughter asked me to blow the whistle every time we dropped her off.
Yeah. For those of you that don't know, Chris Barros was awarded a awesome, very thoughtful gift of a train whistle, and he has ignored it ever since he got it.
Used it once.
He used it once in a video that we ended up cutting out.
No, it's at the end.
Oh, it was at the end. You're right. You're right.
So
Spoilers. That was the switch and signal video.
Yes.
Yeah. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you for tuning in to Tabletop Express. Call Aboard. I hate doing that. Please don't make me do that. We're gonna do something.
You chose
else.
to do that.
Well, I have Brian Chandler to thank for that. So thank you, Brian. I'll read more of your reviews. I promise.
Tell him to get on and do it.
That's true. I could. But again, thanks for tuning in, and we'll do this again probably next month, right?
Yeah,
probably. We'll see if I can, if I got a moment to do it.
And then you can stay tuned as well. Next week we're gonna have, is it next week or it's soon? On the table, Danny Lowe and Reese are going to be joining. They're awesome. So that's going to be a ton of fun for On the Table, talking about some of our favorite games. So that's the other one to be on the lookout for. But please join us on Thursday if you're not worried about spoilers, and or you can go back and watch our other videos if you want to be caught up. Vagrant Song Thursday, 9:00.
So until then, we'll be calling aboard. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.